Hello and welcome to Plus Equal. Today I will introduce you to the Unreal Engine Basics UI. With time we will explore more of the details. So let's begin. In our left panel, in the Place Actors tab, you can select a lot of different classes that Unreal have for you. So for example, in the Basics one, you have empty actors. You have some basic shapes here as well, but you also have lights, things for cinematics, visual effects. You also have basic geometry if you don't have access to 3D software, but anyway, that is Blender, that is a free software. You have volumes and you can search in all the classes. Here on the top in this bar, we have our option to save current. We have source control. Well, we will not use source control unless, for example, you are working with a lot of people and you have something as per force to synchronize your actions. We have the modes panel. Really recommend you to get used to using the shift and the number to switch between these elements. For example, shift 1 lets you move objects around as you wish. Shift 2 is for landscape purposes. Shift 3 is for foliage. Shift 4 for brush editing. For this geometry, you can edit going into this option, or brush 5 for the mesh paint. But let's stick with Shift 1 for now. Here we have an option for the content browser. If you lose this tab here, you can always summon that tab by clicking content browser. You have access for the marketplace, some settings. Also there is mega scans here, access to blueprints, cinematics, builds, and the play button. The play button is hidden here. If I want to test my sim, I needed to select the play button and press S to exit. And here we have the viewport. We have a lot of options here. In order to control, you can change between perspective and a lot of orthographic views. You can see unlit version, for example, or detail lighting only, and a lot of options really here. I really like to disable game settings exposure because if I'm too far from my objects, this gets really dark. But if you uncheck this option, that's cool. Here you have some options for when you want to select objects. You press W in order to being able to move the objects around, or you can press E to rotate them, or R to scale them in any axis, or just scale it at the center and will be scaled properly, like a giant chair in the middle of this scene. Here you can toggle between the gizmos of the object. For example, here we can see that is local. I'm moving the object in this direction, but if I press here and there is a globe there, I'm moving the object in the axis of the world as it is here. See? Here we have some grids. For example, we'll talk about snapping later, but this is to fix the rotation, for example in 10 by 10, 50, 60, 70 and so on, or you can just disable this and move it really smoothly. Here you can change your camera speed. If I want to put this at 8, my camera will be really fast, but usually at 3 it's enough for little sims. Here in the top bottom we have the content browser. The content browser lets you access all your folders in your game. For example, props, can add another table, or I can add a couch here. Press E, rotate it. Here on the right we have the world outliner. Right below the world outliner we have the details panel. Selecting this table here, you can see the details of the table, and you can see things as a transform and a lot of other components that we will talk about later. That's really it for this basic editor UI. In the next tutorial, we will be talking about the viewport navigation, some tips, shortcuts, and the keys to use in order to navigate more effectively inside Unreal Engine. So thank you for watching. I will see you there.